Good morning, everybody. This is Damon Bond, the Bond Realty Group, licensed real estate brokers in the state of Connecticut and New York. Hope everybody's doing well. Today is Monday, March 2nd, 2020. Welcome to Real Talk. We talk about real estate issues that may affect someone you know and love or you yourself personally. If you have any questions, you can always give me a call at 203-394-8123, 203-394-8123, or you can always email me at dbond011@gmail.com. That is dbond011@gmail.com. Hope everybody's doing well this fine Monday morning. All right. So today I want to talk about an issue that affects primarily more so New Yorkers, those New Yorkers living in the five boroughs, Westchester County, Nassau County, all right, and a little bit of Connecticut, and that is condos versus co-ops, okay? What is a condominium? What is a cooperative? And here in Connecticut, they're not a common occurrence too much. And there's a few select of them in Stamford, Norwalk, Bridgeport, okay, a couple in Stratford, some of the larger cities in Connecticut. But in New York, they're all over the place. Co-ops are a dime a dozen. And so I just want to go over the differences, of those things. For my people who are, in different areas of the country, I know co-ops are a foreign concept to you, except for some major urban areas, maybe LA. I don't know if you have any co-ops there, or Chicago or anything, but pretty much they're a Northeast New York, based thing. All right. Well, first of all, co-op stands for cooperative, and in a cooperative, the unit members are shareholders. So it's kind of like owning a stock in a company. You are a shareholder of that company. So, Coca-Cola, you are a shareholder if you have stock, let's say, in Coca-Cola, just as an example. All right. In condos, you actually own the unit. The unit is yours. So that's the first thing, and they're a little bit different. The structure is a little bit different, okay? And I want to go over these with you. Hope you can see this okay. All right, if you can, I do apologize for that. All right, so I'm just doing it for my own reference because sometimes my mind gets jumbled, if you will. So first of all, with a co-op. With a co-op, if you have an FHA mortgage, we talked about this before in my other video, you're not going to be able to get a co-op with an FHA mortgage. All right, that is almost guaranteed. And the reason why is because many co-ops require at least a minimum 10% down payment. All right, so you're not going to do that. You're not going to get an FHA. You're not going to get a co-op with an FHA mortgage. All right. With a condo, it is possible to get an FHA mortgage with a condo. If that condo is FHA approved, all right, then yes, you can. If not, then you have to up it to like 5% down payment, which is conventional, all right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is this. In a condo, there's no board approval, usually. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part, there is no board approval for a condo. For a co-op, there is board approval, meaning what? Meaning you have to go before the co-op board. Now, in Connecticut, co-op board is a little bit different. They don't ask you a whole bunch of questions necessarily. They're pretty much routine. I mean, they're pretty much dry. All right. From my experience of selling co-ops in Connecticut, I haven't done that many because, like I said, they're not very popular. In New York City, though, all right, even in Westchester, it's a little bit different. They take this thing very seriously. All right. On the board, you have people there, you have the board president, you have all the, office members, sometimes an attorney may be present there. And they will, sometimes, depending on where you're trying to live, how exclusive the co-op is, they can grill you. All right. There's an infamous case of Richard Nixon when he resigned from the White House back in the 70s, 80s. There's an infamous case where Richard Nixon tried to apply to live in a co-op and he got rejected, the President of the United States. So just to give you an idea of how they can be. All right. And so with a board, what do they do, all right, in terms of co-op boards in New York? Well, like I said before, it all depends on how extensive it is. For example, ideally you want to have a binder. So you know those 3-ring binders you had in college or high school? All right, if you're old enough to have those things. Well, make sure you have like six months of bank statements, right? Make sure you have your stubs already in place. Make sure you have, everything, whatever, personal thing they have. They will go through it. So have that already prepared to give to the board. All right. Well, you may say, well, Damon, if you're getting a mortgage already, right? Do they still want this stuff? And the answer is yes. All right. So even though you've already been vetted by your mortgage company, your bank rather, all right, even though you've been doing all these things, even though you may have perfect credit, all right, they will still vet you out. Yes, they will. I've heard of boards asking everything from, how many people, is going to be coming over the house, all right, what do you do, all these things. So yeah, they can be, not all times, but they can be very intrusive. It varies. I'm just giving you a general idea, particularly for my Manhattanite people. This is what can tell, all right? So they can be very, very, very intrusive. Usually, like I said, outside of New York, up here in Connecticut, they're not intrusive, not to that degree, all right? But they are more so in the boroughs, okay? That's the first thing, all right? The second thing is this, we discussed this, 10% minimum down payment, 3.5% down payment is possible, all right? We already talked about being a shareholder versus a unit holder. So what does this mean in the scheme of things? In the larger scheme of things, if you want to do some repairs on the inside of your house, some condos, not all, some condos, for example, will, you don't need board approval. You just need to, they would like a licensed person to be in there. Some are more, picky about this than others, all right, as opposed to hiring somebody off Craigslist. But yeah, usually you don't need no approval overall, okay? There are specifics. With a co-op, usually you have to get board approval if you want anything done to your unit. All right. So if you want anything done to your unit, if you let's say want to rearrange some things in your unit, that's something you will need board approval for 9 times out of 10. All right. So is one better than the other one? It all depends on your preference. Me personally, I prefer, condos over co-ops because there seems to be less red tape. All right, that's a personal thing. But, whatever is good for you is good for you. Probably about 70% of the housing stock in New York City is going to be co-ops. So for my New Yorkers, and I usually most of the videos are very generic. It can apply to any state or any city in the United States. But this one is obviously very, very is tailored to my New York City / Connecticut people, more so New York City than Connecticut, because like I said, we simply just don't have that many co-ops up here. All right. Now I will say one thing. Usually, all right, co-ops in Connecticut, all right, if you do come across them, are cheaper, all right, than your condos. The one caveat, though, is many banks in Connecticut, many mortgage people don't lend for co-ops. Some areas will only have one bank in the whole dang on state that will lend money for a cooperative, and that's the only downfall, all right? Also, a downfall is it's usually slower to rent out a co-op in Connecticut than in, let's say, New York. New York, they go like this, all right? Also, in terms of renting it out, is a little bit more red tape to renting it out in Connecticut. Because like I said, there's not that many in Connecticut to begin with, outside your major urban populations. It's just not that many. So, like I said, I apologize if this was tailored to, the more New York people and Connecticut people, but, this is a big part of real estate in these neck of the woods, cooperatives. So hope you found this, video. I hope you found it useful. Please like it on Facebook, like it on YouTube, share it with anybody who may be purchasing a co-op or cooperative or anything else. I answer all questions and comments. So once again, thank you for tuning in to Real Talk. This is Damon Bond of Bond Realty Group, licensed real estate brokers in the state of Connecticut and New York. If you have any questions, you can always email me at dbond011@gmail.com, or you always give me a call or text 203-394-8123. Thank you for tuning in today's session. Stay well, be strong, and have a wonderful and pleasant day. Good day.